A good and fluent English is all about substituting the basic words that you've been using till now with the more attractive or impressive words. Hi everyone, I'm Namita. Welcome back to the channel where you can become skillful, fluent and confident in English, and that is what we are trying to do in this video today. We are trying to make you more skillful and more confident in your English by substituting the regular words that we've been using or something which we have been using since childhood. If we can just use something which is more impressive, something which is more intellectual with the basic ones, then you are going to be fluent. That is what fluency is all about. Why do you say that someone has a good English? Because the person is not speaking the regular words that everyone uses. If you really want to stand out of the crowd, then you have to learn to speak good words. So we are going to substitute in this particular video very with a nice word, a word which sounds nice and which will actually improve your speaking skills. If you use very every time with the word, it doesn't look very impressive. So if you want to sound impressive, we need to remove the very part. This is what we are trying to do in this video. I'm going to share a few words where we are going to omit the very, and I'm going to tell you a wonderful word apart from using that very. Okay, let me start with the very first one now. Instead of saying I am feeling very angry, you can say furious. Very angry is something which everyone knows, but if you say furious, oh, he looked furious when the ball hit his head, So substitute furious with very angry. Instead of saying very beautiful, use gorgeous. You are looking gorgeous in this white sari. Beautiful is something which everyone knows. Gorgeous is a more impressive word. So instead of saying very beautiful, use gorgeous. Very big. She has a very big house. What about massive? Instead of saying very big, we can say massive. Very boring. There are so many people who we find very boring, or a movie which we find boring. The word is dull. Instead of saying very boring, we can say dull. The movie was dull. Very noisy. The classroom was very noisy. The classroom was deafening. Very noisy can be substituted with a word like deafening. Very poor. For India, we use this word, but I would not like to use it. Instead of saying very poor, we would say destitute. Very cheap. Stingy. Instead of saying very cheap for a person, for a thing, you can say stingy. Very clean. Spotless. The white gown is looking very clean after the wash. We can say spotless. Very short, brief. Keep your interviews, keep your presentation very short, keep your presentation brief. Very difficult, arduous. Instead of saying this task is very difficult, this task is arduous. Very dry, arid. Now the summers, after the spring, the weather that is going to be very dry, it is going to be arid. Very quick. Tell me about yourself very quickly, rapidly. Something which happens very quickly. Instead of saying very quick, we can say rapid. Very bad. Awful. Of course you know about this word. Awful. Don't say very bad. Use the word awful. It will sound more impressive. Very smart. Intelligent. Instead of saying someone you look very smart or you are very smart, say you're very intelligent. Very sad. The movie had a very sad ending. The movie had a sorrowful ending. So substitute very sad with sorrowful. Very upset, distraught. Don't say very upset. I'm feeling very upset today. I'm feeling distraught. Very cold. It's very cold outside. It's freezing outside. See, these are the words which are going to make difference. Instead of saying very cold, if you use freezing, this is how you will automatically feel that my English is improving a lot, or the people who are listening to you would feel that yes, he or she has a very good English. Very strong, forceful. If someone has a strong personality, you can say, oh my God, he or she has a forceful personality. So instead of saying very strong, you can use the word forceful. Very huge, colossal. Very huge means colossal only, but we choose to say very huge because we don't know about the word. Use the word colossal. Very calm, serene. A nature walk is something which is serene. Instead of saying very calm, I personally like to use serene. Very ugly, hideous. Very small, petite. She has a very small structure, petite. It is used mostly for the people who are very skinny. So instead of saying very small, we call it petite. Very funny, hilarious. I like very funny movies. I like hilarious movies. Watching cartoons is something which gives me those hilarious moments. Very quiet, hushed. I feel hushed today, or the girl was hushed by the response of her boyfriend. So instead of saying very quiet, you can say hushed. Very rich. wealthy. If someone is rich, my friend has become very rich. No, my friend has become wealthy. Very expensive, costly, or very costly, expensive. Because every time when you use very, it might not look very nice. So that is why we are just trying to omit that very part and stick to a very basic word. So very costly, expensive. Very dirty, filthy. Instead of saying very dirty, we should use filthy. Very tall, towering. Very easy, effortless. When you find a task which is not taking a lot of your time, you say, oh, I find it very easy. I find it effortless. Very wet, soaked. I have got very wet in the rain. No, soaked. I feel soaked. If you found these words helpful and if you can try to imbibe them in your basic vocabulary, then you are going to sound impressive. Trust me on that. I am going to see you in my next video. Keep practicing sentences using these words only so that these are always staying in your mind. These words are not out of your memory. Keep them in your memory, keep practicing them. Talk to yourself using these words. They are going to be really helpful and they're going to make you fluent. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye for now.